Hello, welcome in or welcome back. Now, if you saw the previous video, I talked about how I did get a jury summons, and I will have to go into the courthouse in a couple weeks to have my fate determined on whether I'm going to be a juror or not. Or I have to come back in 2 years. Now, I did have a story from when I did get picked. And I believe, if I'm trying to remember, I think it's the only time I've ever been picked to be on the jury. I was one of the final 12, which I thought was it was very interesting. So I will tell that story today. Okay, let's go here with Executioner, and let's hope we get our team. Okay. Nope, we'll just keep going. Let's see what we can get here. Okay, we got Wiz. Okay, but I won't select Executioner. We'll just do this. All right. So we'll do that, and I'll make the decision on Executioner or which. So it was about I think this was 2008 where I did get picked. It was either 2008 or 2009 where I did get selected, and I was like, oh yeah, it was about 2009, because I think I was working at the startup in near Television City, and I told them that, hey, it sucks, but I have to do jury duty, and they're like, oh man, we really need you. Can you postpone? I'm like, I don't want to postpone, and then I have to do it, because the reason I don't try to postpone is because if they say, hey, we don't need you, you're done. You're done for 2 years. And I think that's just really, I think that's the way to go. And if you have to postpone, then you have to do it regardless. So I just said, I'm just going to accept my fate. So I get to the courthouse, and the cool thing is, at the time I was living really close to it. I was living in it was within walking distance, which just made life so much easier. Okay, I guess we'll go this way. Okay, we'll go here. Okay, good. All right, we get Baby D. Oh, Skelly Dragon's nice. Okay, so we'll have our team. All right, really good. So I think actually I'll go Executioner this way. Yeah. So I get to the courthouse, and there are a bunch of us that are in the pool, and I get my number, and I think it was single digits. So I was like, okay, all right. Really can't do anything about it. So very likely, unless they randomize the... Oh, there's a bug on my left thing. Okay, I just got distracted. So unless by some miracle they go by random numbers, I'm going to be probably selected to be in the booth. So yeah. And yep, that's what happened. I got picked. I was in the booth, and I'm just like, okay, all right. Well, please don't let this be anything. Don't let it be a murder trial, please. Because I don't need to be here for like a month. I just want this to be something that it would be fine. So that's how I view this. So, I do remember not the plaintiff. It was the defending attorney. No, it was a plaintiff. Wait. No, it was the defendant. Yeah, it was defending. It was the attorney for the defendant. I think she kind of, it wasn't in the room, but she had mentioned, because I think she had said something like outside. She said, oh, this is my first case, or like my first big case, and I just hope that I can do the job as well as possible. And we didn't know at the time what it was. And I don't even think she didn't mention it to us. Like, hey, I know you're in the jury. Hey, just so you know, this is my first case. Please, please be gentle. Okay, should we go for print? Oh yeah, we have to. Wait, actually, do they have assassins? They do. Okay, yeah, we. Yeah, we'll just do that and try to get lucky. So. Okay, so far so good. The thing is, everybody's slow, so might have a chance. I just didn't want to get wiped out, so yeah. So the attorney, the attorney was saying, yeah, this is my first case. I'm just hoping for it not to be, anything crazy. So I'm hoping I can get. Yeah, actually, that's probably the best combo. Yeah, that's probably the best combo. If we get Witch, I'd be very, very happy. Come on. Okay, well, they don't like us. So yeah, as the proceedings began, the guy who was on trial was standing there. We didn't know who it was, but the guy was just there. He was in a college short sleeve shirt. I remember it was checkered, and he just looked so depressed. Like, he was so sad to be. I mean, obviously, you're on trial. Like, I mentioned, in the previous video, yesterday, I said, the guy was on trial for a double murder, and he had face tattoos. But this guy just looked sad as all, just super sad to be there. And this was the case. So the case was that he was arrested for allegedly, it's indecent exposure. That was his charge. But the defendant made the case that, oh, come on, win this. All right, okay. He made the case that he wasn't exposing himself to anybody. He was checking his phone. Now remember, this is 2008 or 9 when phones weren't like this today, but it was the beginning of the smartphone era. So we just have to keep that in mind. Okay, do I risk it? And I think we just have to roll with this. So, yeah. So he contended that he was looking at his phone, kind of like this, and he was parked near an elementary school because he was ready to do some landscaping nearby. He was waiting for a couple of his compatriots to join him in doing landscaping around the neighborhood. He just happened to park near an elementary school, which got out of classes as he was waiting, checking his phone like, hey. And then somebody said, oh, actually, I haven't got this. Transfer a random truth called something. Okay, let's just do this. So one of the, I guess, a parent was walking by and just saw him going like this, but didn't see the phone. Only saw the arm motion. Actually, should I do it like this? Like here? Like something like this. And you didn't see the arm motion, so she thought the dude was masturbating. Called the police, which was right there, and the police said, she's saying you're getting off, and he's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, no, and the lady who had a kid in her hand, she's like, no. He was. I saw he was doing the motions. And that was, oh my gosh. Okay, I forgot Dagger Duchess, you know, in the beginning with Archer Queen could be really crazy. Anyways, the officer sided with the lady and said, "You're under arrest, sir, for, you know, for doing yourself, and we're gonna take you in." And so that's the case, and that's what we were presented with, and I'm thinking, wow, this is now at the time. Remember, this is just the beginning of the smartphone era, but as the case was going on, I just was thinking, dude, there's no evidence that he. I mean, there's no evidence that he pulled anything out. He whipped it out for everybody to see. Oh, you want to make an execution? Okay, no, we're going, princess. Okay, actually, I gotta try for this because I can do a 2, 3. That would be executioner. So I guess we can go this way. Yeah, at least we'll try this for now. There was no evidence that he whipped it out. It was only that this lady who was distracted by her kid and trying to pick up her other kid at the school just happened to glance by and see this dude go like this, checking, or he said he was checking his phone. She thought like this, yeah, like this. And yeah, that was the case. And it was a lot of he said, she said, and I'm just thinking, man, what in the what is this? This is not it. I was like, in my opinion, this ain't it. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so we at least have this, and we get Baby D. So 2, 3. Okay, yeah, I think, yeah. So we should be fine. Yeah, I was like, dude, there's no way. But I had to hold it in because you know, you have to listen to the whole case, and it got boring. But thankfully, we were done in one. Oh no, they're not even looking at the. Oh, okay, I was gonna say they're not even looking at Echo's 1 HP. All right, and thankfully, yeah, the whole hearing of the proceedings was done in an hour, and once everything was done, the judge said, "Okay, we're done. Now you all are going to go convene. You jurors are going to convene, and you're going to make a decision on the case. You, sir, you," and they pointed at me. He said, "You're going to be the lead in the room. If there's any questions, we're going to ask you." I'm like, okay. Like, okay. All right. Yeah, sure. Okay. So you're gonna ask me to do? It's basically just if we get stuck, then I would have to tell the judge, "Hey, we cannot come to a conclusion on anything." Okay, I'm gonna switch. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, this is so. It feels so risky, but I'm willing to do this. He's 1 away from a 4-star. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go this way because if Baby D survives just long enough, then Echo will go first to. Okay, all right. Well, we're screwed. Oh. Okay. Oh no, he healed. Oh my gosh, that was the time. Come on, Larry. That's so bad. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad. That's so frustrating. All right, well, okay, now we have to get lucky. Okay. I don't want to get rid of. I really don't want to get rid of Goblin Machine, but I feel like that's the only answer. Okay, I'm not going to do anything for now. So yeah. So we all get in, and it was clear just listening to the testimony that this dude was on his phone, and he explained it was a Razor phone, which I think, yeah, it was a Razor phone, and I'm like, yeah, this dude was on his phone. You can't tell me, you cannot convince me otherwise. This dude was 100% on his phone, and this lady or whoever, this lady, the officer, just we're not there. We're not there at all. And so, what? We get in the room, and it's just sealed off, and the officer or the sheriff's deputy said, "Okay, just let me know when you're done, or if you get stuck." And I said, "Okay, all right." So I turned to everybody, and I just say, I didn't want to. I didn't know how to proceed, so I just thought, in this movie, okay, let's go this way. All right, we're just gonna go this way and try to get lucky. I think, was it 12 Angry Men, where they just said, okay, let's just vote now, and let's just see. And then we'll open it up. Oh, get rid of him! Oh, okay, we have a chance. Okay, we have a chance. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right, we have a chance. I'm switching anything right now. Okay, all right. So this actually is really, really good. All right, which will be the one? Okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. Okay, so that should help. We just need one stun. Okay, everybody's at 3 stars, so yeah, okay. Alright. So I turned to everybody, the other 11 people, and I just said, okay, let's just do this. Let's vote now, and let's see where everybody is. And if it's 12-0, one way or the other, then we'll just do a spot check. And then we're good. If it's not, then we'll try to figure out what to do. Oh my goodness! Let's go! We got rid of a 4-star Echo. Absolutely demolished. Crazy. Okay. That's crazy. So, it didn't even give us. That's a crazy thing. They gave us like sheets of paper, but not like post-it notes or anything. It's just like a plain. It was just like a plain notebook, like good luck, and pens. So I had to like rip up. I had to take things. I had to rip up, like this, and be like, okay, here, write your answer here, and just say yes. Just say yes or no. Yeah, that's what I told him. I said yes or no, and after like a minute, I gathered them, and I was like, okay, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna go get Baby D. Let's do this. Okay, we'll do this, try to get this done. And I was like, yes. I'm sorry. It was no, and then the moment I said yes, everybody's like, oh fuck. Because they're like, if it was all no, then we're done. Because that's what I told her. I said, we're done if it's 12-0 one way or the other. We just spot check. And then it was and then it was funny because like I kept going. I said, it was like no, yes, no, yes, and then I turned to the last one. I'm like, it was just a question mark. I'm like, and I said, somebody put a question mark, and I said, okay, so somebody just put a question mark, and I guess to whoever this person and there was a lady there. It was one of the women, and she said, I don't know what to put. And I said, okay, don't worry. We'll just start with you. And I said, okay. I said, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but because you said, I don't know, we have to build something around it, why you don't know. And then we started talking, and I said, okay, so obviously, if you believe one way or the other, we'll figure it out. And then as she was talking about it and going through it, she was like, oh, you know what? It really doesn't make sense. I don't think he was jerking off. I think he was checking his phone. So I'm gonna vote no. I said, okay, all right. So, all right, we are okay. So the score, I think the initial score was 9. No, it was 8-3, and then that lady put the question mark. So I said, okay, it's 8-3. Now it's 9-3. Okay, let's just bring in the team here. Yeah, I'll just do this. Okay. Here, sell back everybody here. Okay, let's do this. All right, that works. So I said, all right, it's now 9-3. So I'm willing to share my opinion, but I don't know where the three of you, if y'all want to say, and I tried to tell people, hey, this is, you are not on trial for going against the majority, but if you want to explain why you went the way you did so that we can understand and see whether we need to go that way. But I will tell you right now, I think he was checking his phone. So there was one dude who was just he was a big dude, and he just stayed silent. He was like serious. He was just serious throughout the whole time. He stayed silent, and then all he said was, "I thought you looked like." And I was like, "Come on, like okay." I mean, but I asked him. I said, "Okay, is there something that you believe that that says, okay, yeah, we have to change our decision?" And he said, "No, there's nothing I can think of that would make you change your decision." I said, "Are you willing to go no?" Basically what I was asking was like, do you believe he was checking his phone and not masturbating? And he said, I'll vote no. He didn't want to. I think talking to that guy, I believe he wanted a guilty vote. I think he wanted to. I think he just saw the dude who was, just a landscaper, and he said, yeah. And I think that was his MO was, just put him away. But he didn't want to. I think he didn't want to admit that the real belief is that we all thought he was checking his phone and not masturbating, or I should say gooning for the Gen Z, to hit for the algorithm, because apparently you can't say masturbate. Anyways, he didn't want to say I was wrong, but he said, I'll vote no. And when he said it, and it wasn't, and I kept telling people, I'm not meaning to drill you. I'm trying to find out whether I'm incorrect. And this is actually a thing that I've learned, just as a side note, when I play in chess tournaments. This is one of the things that a lot of top players, coaches have said, is that when you think of what you're going to play and the strategy, you have to come up with the reason why it does not work, not the reason why it works. You have to come up with the reason why it doesn't work. So I thought about that. Now, when I was getting ready to record, I thought about that, because I was thinking, oh, okay. Really, the idea, what I wanted that guy to tell me was, tell me why I'm wrong, so that I can decide whether, okay, do I need to switch? And he did not come up with an answer. He just said, no, I'm going to vote no. And he stayed. He didn't try to, not necessarily he didn't try to fight it, but he just said, I'm going to vote no. And the moment he did, the other two kind of started speaking. And they're like, well, yeah, I thought, you know, he looked like he was, he looked like he was masturbating. I'm like, we weren't there at the moment, but yeah. Then I said, okay, well, if we're all there, let's just vote again. And then it was 12-0. And what we didn't know until the end, okay, we wiped this person out. So what we didn't know until the end was that there was a CD of the lady who called the cops. And listening to the CD, that lady was all over the place, man. I couldn't believe, we were just laughing so hard at the audio of the 911 call when she said, yeah, this guy is jacking off in his phone. He's right by the school. And I'm like, and she's saying, hey, to her kids, stop, sit down. And then she's singing like oh my gosh, like we were all laughing, like all of us were laughing. So the guy, we all determined, or at least we all came to the conclusion that the guy was checking his phone. And the last thing I'll say is, when the not guilty verdict went through, the attorney just looked and just went, she just put her head down on the table and almost like, I think she did start crying because she said, like, I can't believe she got a win. I guess on her first attempt. Like, it was just crazy. So that whole case lasted a day. It was funny. It's like, somebody really thought that, I mean, it was 2009. So somebody thought that going like this repeatedly was, in his car, was masturbating when he was just checking his phone. Wow. Well, crazy. Are you masturbating or are you checking your phone? Who knows? So, well, we all thought he was checking his phone. So, all right, I'm gonna end the video here. That was my jury duty, my first jury duty story. The other one, if you missed the other one, it's in the previous video. If you like this story, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I will see you all in the next one.